In this video, we're going to be looking at the basic bike geometry measurements in bicycle geometry. We're also going to be looking at why some of these numbers exist and why you may want to look at different numbers for different reasons. Before we talk about bike geometry, we first have to go over some of the basic components of a frame. On a typical bike, we have the top tube, down tube, head tube, seat stay, chain stay, bottom bracket, dropout. Since most riding is seated, the size of a bike is often determined by the seat tube length, and that's still the case for most road and mountain bikes. However, many modern mountain bikes are built with shorter seat tubes, which allow for the seat to be lowered to complement an aggressive riding style. That is one of the reasons many bikes these days are often measured by the effective seat tube length. Another popular bike size measurement is the top tube length, which will give you the general idea as to how far the handlebars will be away from the seat. But as you can see here, the top tube length doesn't always give us any valuable information, which is why many companies use the effective or virtual top tube length measurement instead. But the effective top tube length isn't perfect either. Seat tube angles can vary quite a bit and throw off the effective top tube measurement. And for downhill and dirt jump bikes where riders are almost never seated, these measurements may not be super useful. If you do most of your riding out of the saddle, you may want to look at the reach and stack numbers instead, as these will give you a better representation as to the actual size when standing up. Other numbers to look at include the wheelbase. Shorter wheelbase bikes are more maneuverable, while longer wheelbase bikes are more stable at high speeds. The head angle can greatly affect the way the bike turns and descends. Downhill and enduro bikes often have slacker head angles to accommodate for absorbing impacts on steep descents. However, while climbing, a steep head angle will allow the rider to get their weight over the front wheel, which will make it easier to navigate steep switchback turns located on steep ascents. The seat tube angle affects the position of the seat relative to the position of the bottom bracket. However, with the invention of setback seat posts, this number is not as useful as it once used to be. The chainstay length affects how lively the bike feels and how easy it is to get the front wheel off the ground. Longer chainstays can also make a bike feel more stable at high speeds, but are also necessary to accommodate for larger diameter wheels. This is one of the reasons why manualing on a 29er is more difficult than manualing on a BMX bike. The bottom bracket height affects how stable a bike feels. A lower bottom bracket allows for better cornering, but increases the chances of clipping a pedal on the ground. Another related measurement is the bottom bracket drop and the bottom bracket rise. When the bottom bracket is located below the wheel axles, this is referred to as bottom bracket drop. If the bottom bracket is located above the wheel axles, this is referred to as bottom bracket rise. Bottom bracket rise is most common on trials bikes. This is one of the reasons why trials bikes are not the best feeling bikes outside of a trials environment. So after watching this video, hopefully you understand that bicycle geometry is actually very complicated. And in this video, we were only talking about basic bike geometry. So when buying a new bike, it is crucial that you understand what kind of riding discipline you're going to be doing. That way you can buy the best bike suited for you. If this is your first time visiting this channel, you may be interested in my skills with Phil videos where I break down the body mechanics behind many different skills, such as jumping and manualing. I also analyze videos sent in from you guys about common mistakes riders encounter learning these skills. As always, my name is Phil Metz. Thanks for playing bikes with me today, and I'll see you next time.